Hi to the team at the Bakery Atlanta. My name is Ariel Saw. I am very funny for submitting this video to you. I turned in an application for the curatorial fellowship, and in the space where I was supposed to put my sample work for the show, I attached my resume again. I was trying to, obviously buy myself some time. I'm sure we've all done it, but we're all grown-ups. There's no need for me to pretend. And I do have an excuse. I have two, but after that I'll be out of excuses, and I'm going to save those till the very end. So I just at least wanted to show you a sample of the show that exists, even if it's, even if you're literally about to send out who gets the fellowship in an hour. I was like, let me at least still just send it, because I did it and I've been working on it, but perfectionism and all types of nonsense on top of my two excuses that we'll hear at the end. So today I'm talking about Vivid Testament. I'm in my car. After I make this video and send it to you, I'm gonna go to work. Well, second work. I left from first work. So actually, I should go back. So I was thinking a lot about testimony and testament, and my work kind of focuses on the relationship between legal language and religion and art, and just kind of using art to interrogate that relationship. I feel like both law and religion are kind of, those old world forces that we maybe are wanting to think that we're post or above or outside of. And I just think that those are such helpful lenses for looking at the world. And so the word testimony, of course, brings up images of church, of religion, but of court, right? And just looking at the power dynamics at play in any of those things, or even someone's last will and testament, right? What does it mean for someone who's dying or dead to, bear witness to the living? What does it mean for, someone to share their testimony in the name of this thing or another? What happens when the accused are allowed to speak on behalf of themselves? What happens when, people are levying testimony against the accused? I think there's just a lot of space and a lot of tension there. And so that's why when I had the kind of initial brief, I was surprised that I kind of went in a landscape direction. This is by Rafiki. They're a Cameroonian American artist here in Atlanta. Well, actually, they just moved. They just started their master's in photography at RISD. And this is Cameroon. And I love the vibe of how it's... First of all, I think Rafiki's landscapes are so beautiful. But this, it's clear that there are people here. It's clear that there are stories here. And just... it makes people seem and look so small. And for me, there's no way I can talk about testimony without talking about back home, right? Right now, immigrants are kind of under fire, and America's reputation is worse for wear, but for a long time it was the land of milk and honey. Coming here, that's a testimony. And, there's a lot to address there. My immigrants will know what I'm talking about. This is by Abby Gregg. They're a painter and a potter and a teacher here in Atlanta. They teach at Oglethorpe University. I love how, again, creature, to me, this looks like a choir. To me, it looks like a group that has a song, a group that has a story, a group that has a narrative. And I just love that idea. I just love this, reflective moment. And I like, again, that, I can kind of ease into the show without beating people over the head with images of people like in court or something. there are so many ways, there's so much power in a testimony that we shouldn't leave it only to church and to the courtroom, right? So this is actually a song. I will send you this Canva. This is really just an example. And the artist who did this was born in the UK and then lived in Houston for a long time, a Cameroonian again. And now they live in China, my BFF. And this is for a project, this is for something different, but I definitely want to have a sound aspect. Oops, we could probably keep it embedded in the whole thing. Will it let me go back? This next entry is a piece by Fatou Bessem. We know her. Another landscape. I just thought it was beautiful. You kind of need to see it up close to see the swirls and stuff, but there's a story there. There's a narrative there. I actually have access to both the photo and the actual artwork. And, you know, Carnival, there's so many ways to share story, to share narrative. And again, I think I mentioned this, but Black women and girls really are like the nexus of my work. So I'm not really surprised that the first, you know, human image that shows up is as a brown Black woman. Incredible photographer here in Atlanta, also has lived all over the world, like very cool people in here. This is a t-shirt, and this is a bit of a cop-out, but just to kind of give you an idea of some of the connections I'm trying to make. My first time that I laid eyes on the city of Atlanta. I moved here in 2019, but I went on a missions trip here to Atlanta in 2015 with, a group from my church. And of course, my theology has developed leaps and bounds since then. But this was our t-shirt, Letting Heaven Invade Earth. And that invasion, that legalistic, forceful language surrounding heaven, very funny. I think that, of course, they knew to put it on a blue background, sky, water, mist, cloud. And I can't imagine that I'll actually include this shirt, but maybe do something with it. I have a list of other folks that I'm wanting to do a site-specific installation, so maybe we can kind of use this to go from that, but just to kind of give you an idea. Oh, this is me just introducing myself. Hi, my name's Ariel. I'm an art curator. This is part of the excuse. I literally saw the curatorial fellowship ad Thursday night, late night, when I slept in the Atlanta airport, because I went to Michigan back home to be my auntie's niece of honor for her wedding. So I was working all weekend. There's conveniently no pictures of me in action, but I was adjusting her train and blotting her dress and, adjusting her train and blotting her sweat, etc. And I would never be so bold as to include my own artwork. This is something I had commissioned by Melissa Holmes. I met her at the bakery, or I at first encountered her work at the bakery. But I probably would. I have a ceramic vessel that I don't know if I included. I may make another one. But really, I think what I'm interested in is something elaborate with fresh florals for my, contribution to the atmosphere as someone who's not an artist. This I put second to last because I went to school with this girl and her name is around somewhere. I think it's so beautiful. I, of course, can find her name. You can see that this, collection is developing. And then the site-specific installations, these are the folks that I mentioned. She's a brilliant Black ceramicist here in Atlanta. Incredible photographer. That's Lindsay. And they do set design. Ezekiel Robinson is also a sculptor here in Atlanta. And Noah, I also went to school with. And one thing that this opportunity would really help me with is just, really being able to tap into the Atlanta art scene. When I tell you I'm emerging, I'm emerging. And I had a conversation with Ezekiel 2 weekends ago, and he was talking about how art shit in Atlanta is just so automatic. He was like, because he, did something in New York, and he was like, took process, art shit in Atlanta is just so automatic. And I'm not there yet, but I'm really, really trying to cohere more so than emerge. So thank you so much for listening. hope to talk to you again. Bye.